Welcome back to the 8:30 show. On this episode, we're going to discuss a couple of things. We've got a couple of things to run down. We're going to talk about the Young Thug situation, Little Durk, and the World Series. How much?
Um, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, how much do you know about Young Thug?
Not too much, something about a RICO charge or something like that. That's pretty much all I know. I've seen in the blogs like they've talked about it and it's been like this saga.
Hmm.
But other than that, I really don't know much about it.
Yeah. So Young Thug, YSL. They had this big Rico going down in Atlanta. I think it was been going on for about 2 years or a year,
Has
something
it
like
been that
that.
long?
Yeah, it's been something like that. Um, I don't know the exact time frame. I just don't remember because it's been
It's been a minute.
ongoing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
It's been
just
a while.
ongoing. The Rico case has been full of bullshit. One of the judge got pulled off of the case
Yeah, I remember
because
that. I remember
of
seeing
that.
that.
Yeah. From there,
And didn't
it,
the attorney get what's the word I'm looking for?
yeah, he was held in contempt.
Held in contempt.
It's been a mockery
Yeah.
trial. Uh, Local attorneys aren't even happy about it. What was going on with the case and how the
Why?
case was. Um, just because they're seeing all this bullshit in the case and they're not too happy with how the case has been handled by the prosecution. It's been a lot of like it's just been a circus. It's been a real circus with this. It's a state RICO as well, so it's just been a circus. And you know, YSL Woody or Woody testified, and he made it even more of a circus
What the
and more
fuck does
entertaining.
YSL mean? Can you tell me what YSL means? I don't know what that means.
Young Slime Life Records.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's why they put it in front of their name?
yeah, yeah. Because
Mm.
YSL is supposed to be a record label, but the prosecution is claiming it's a gang, and this is what the RICO is based off of. It's a gang, and the proceeds from YSL is to further a gang activity, which was racketeering and all that stuff associated with the RICO.
Okay.
The rapper Gunna was involved in it. He also um, he testified saying that it's a gang. He became known as a snitch, got out of jail, and
So
still
he's done.
no, he's still cranking out them hits. Don't nobody give a shit about snitching no more. That
Wow.
snitching was when we grew up in the 90s. That was a big thing for us. But here in this time, don't nobody give a fuck. These people are like, fuck it, make that music, nigga. That's what they doing.
That's interesting.
Um, and to be honest with you, to let's be realistic here. Like, um, street rules are very stupid, like very stupid. Like just some of the politics with street rules. As now a civilian like I am, they don't make sense.
Calm down, Civvy.
But for real, they don't make sense. They just don't make a lot of the rules don't make sense.
Well, they don't make sense because we're not out there like we used to be when we were young and, there was a code and whatever, and now that code doesn't exist or somebody came along just like with laws, they change them and they're like this is how it's going to be, this is how we're working, this is what we're doing, and if you don't go by it, you know,
Yeah.
that's what it is. So it's yeah, there's the gangsters of today are different.
Well, as soon as the skinny jean era appeared, that's when gangsterism kind of evolved into something totally different. I don't recognize the gangsterism that I grew up with the current gangsterism because gangsterism growing up with me, you had two types of situations. You were the heavy and you were the shooter, but you would fight first.
Yeah.
then you get your get back later with other stuff. You do other stuff later, but um,
I mean, a lot of people are trying to live that type of lifestyle now. Back in the day, it wasn't like that. And now it's like everybody wants to be a thug and
yeah,
everybody wants to be a gangster. And,
yeah,
sometimes you can't fill those shoes and
yeah,
then you're a sucker or a studio.
yeah,
And that's what we used to call them.
yeah. Well, back then and back in the day, growing up, you could tell who was built for that street life and who wasn't. And today, I see a lot of people that aren't built for that lifestyle, but
But wanna be.
want to be a part of that
And that's
lifestyle.
where the wannabe is.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
they in
I get
today's
it.
in today's day and age, um, street life has been glorified to the point where everybody wants to be that because it's cool. When it used to be, um, the dudes in the hood to see you, and you ain't built that way, and they try to motivate you to go or follow the righteous path and get them books and do that, and they would celebrate you for that lifestyle because you're getting out of the situation that they're in. But nowadays, everybody wants to be a gangster.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a thug. Everybody wants to be a shooter. Everybody wants to be, you know,
And throw your life away, really. I mean, I don't know. It's just different growing up for us.
yeah,
It was different.
yeah,
Different times, and now technology
yeah,
is everywhere and all over the place. And there's videos of all kinds of shit.
yeah,
So, but
yeah,
speaking of videos,
yeah. Let's get into the video. This is gonna be Young Thug. He got released. If you don't know what we're leading up to, um, and let's get into it and check out. These are, I guess, the final statements from the judge, and I think a statement from Thugga about his plea that he received. Let's get on
I
into it.
appreciate that you do realize how much of an impact you have on people. I mean, it's past your neighborhood. It's worldwide, especially young people. And having come up from where you came up from and living in and around that, you know that gangs are damaging to our community. And it may be that
don't give a
a whole
fuck.
lot of rap music and the rap industry is, I mean, honestly, it sounds like a modern day version of kind of WWE wrestling that used to be on television, where people would just get up and posture and act like they hated each other. And it may be that that's a lot of what is going on in the music industry with rap. But whether it is fake or not, it has tremendous impact on kids and young people who think this is cool. This is what I want to do. Look at
Just what we were
him.
saying.
He's a millionaire. I can do that by being, a gangster in the streets. And that's not true. What you're likely to have happen to you if you're a gangster in the streets is you get shot, you get killed, or you get thrown in prison. And those are,
Correctamundo.
by far the most likely outcomes. And, you know, you've been in here watching the trial, and you've seen the pictures of Mr. Ryan posing with a gun as big as he is at 15 years old and going out and shooting and killing another teenager. And that's what gangs do. And that's unfortunately a lot of what rap music does. And if you are a modern day John Lennon, I mean, he might have rapped too in this day and age. I don't know, but I know you're talented, and even if you choose to continue to rap, you need to try to use your influence to let kids know that that is not the way to go, and that there are ways out of poverty besides hooking up with the powerful guy at the end of the street selling drugs.
Mm.
And, you know, I know that happens for protection sometimes, but a much better way would be getting an education and setting, you know, hanging around with people who set a good example. And you be one of those people that sets a good example. I mean, all right, so that's my high horse on that. I could also go on.
Yeah,
But
this is the new
I want
judge,
you
by
to
the
try
way.
to be more of the solution and less of the problem.
And she's been barbecuing the prosecution sitting at the bottom
All
of the
right,
screen.
so it is not
And
lost on the court.
the gentleman with the white hair, that's Brian
state-
Steele, that's Thug's attorney.
Had they been able to come to agreement,
I don't know the
on
other attorney, the
certain
black guy
special
on his
conditions,
right.
was willing to entirely dismiss the RICO count, was willing to entirely dismiss one of the gang counts, and was willing to entirely dismiss this, you know, machine gun count. Was willing to give a sentence that permitted Mr. Williams to walk out of the door today, and therefore does not seem to be particularly worried that Mr. Williams, if on the streets, would be a danger to society. I'm taking that into consideration in crafting my sentence. And in permitting a NOLO plea to the RICO count and one of the two gang counts, I would not be permitting the NOLO to the one if you were not pleading guilty to at least one of them. But you are, and y'all admit a factual basis for the counts that you are pleading guilty to. I find there to be a factual basis for those counts, and for the remaining counts with which you are charged. I am going to impose a sentence, and I've taken a little bit of the suggested special conditions from the defense and a little bit of the special conditions suggested by the prosecution. On count one, the court sentence is 20 years to serve 5 years, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years to be probated, and a $25,000 fine. On count two, the sentence is 5 years to serve, commuted to time served. That's the minimum sentence that's permitted.
Mind you, he was facing
on that
45.
count. It is required to be run consecutively.
What did she say? I'm sorry.
I'm going to run it consecutive to count one, but I am going to backload. Oh, I'm sorry. That is not commuted. That is 5 years to serve, and it's going to be run consecutively to count one, backloaded, by which I mean after you serve your 15 years of probation. If you have been successful on that probation, and I
damn.
sincerely hope that you are, then at the end of that
15
15
years.
years, I will commute the entire rest of any service portion of your sentence to time served. So I'll get to the end of it and give you the total sentence, but I'm also going to impose a $15,000 fine with regard to that count. Count 57, 20 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years probated, concurrent with count 1. Count 58, 10 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, balance probated, concurrent with count 1. 59, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. 60, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. Count 61, 5 years to serve, that is required to be also a consecutive sentence, so that's going to be run consecutively to count 56 and backloaded. Count 62, 10 years to serve, also required to be served consecutively, that's going to be consecutive to count 61.
They're trying to get this nigga
also
100 years.
backloaded. So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed then by the backloaded 20 years, which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your probation. If you are successful in completing your 15 years probation, that will be commuted to time served.
That's a lot. 15
You are
years.
to remain on
Probation.
reporting status for the first half of your probation, active reporting for the first 7.5 years of your probation, and that is pursuant to OCGA 17-10-1, subsection 2, A2A. And Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, in order to keep him on reporting status, there needs to be good cause shown. We all concede that good cause is shown here?
Stipulate.
All right, I appreciate that. Special conditions of your probation.
What good cause? What do you mean?
Can I have a second, Your Honor?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You had enough time to talk with your attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. All right, special conditions of your probation. After 48 hours from your release, you are to stay away from the metro Atlanta area, and that's defined by the U.S. Census Bureau. It may change.
Kicked him out of
but
Atlanta.
You can look that up anytime to figure out what that is. For the first 10 years of your probation, subject to the following exceptions, you are permitted to be in the metro Atlanta area to attend any wedding, funeral, or graduation from high school, college, or graduate school of any of your immediate family members. And immediate family members is defined the same way that you all were contemplating it when you were negotiating.
He's taking his family out of
You
Atlanta.
can get here up to 24 hours prior to any such event, and you need to leave within 48 hours after any such event. In addition, during each year of your probation, I'm going to require that you come to the metro Atlanta area and make a live anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentation 4 times a year, each year of your probation, at a grade school, a middle school, a boys or girls club, anything like that. That type
Every
of
quarter
group.
of the year.
And if you want to, that presentation can include a benefit concert, and these presentations may count towards your required community service hours, which I'm going to impose, that during each year of your probation, you perform 100 hours of community service. You are, and this is required by the fact that there's a gang conviction. You shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any other member or associate of any criminal street gang. Exception to that, if your brother is a member of any street gang, I hope you talk him into getting out of it. Quantavious Greer, and then also Sergio Kitchens, as long as you are contractually obligated to him. That is going to include anybody who is named in this indictment, except as absolutely necessary.
Where is he gonna go
conduct
that
the
he can't
lawful business of your musical
Communicate with any
career,
gang member. There's a
and
gang
to
member in
any
every
extent that
2
the
people is a
state
gang
not
member.
agreeing to the exception for Mr. Kitchens.
And I feel like in
the
his world,
event
it's
that
possible.
That part is
Maybe.
not enforceable
When you got the
because
money,
it is only
maybe.
a portion
You
of a
know.
special
Depends on how much
condition,
money you got
going
left.
to
Well, I'm just
provide
saying, you
that,
know, he can still
that'd be
make money.
severable from the
That is
rest
true.
of this, and I'll put some case
Go live
sites
on an
in the
island
summary
somewhere.
sheet for that.
Yeah.
You are in no way to promote any criminal street gang or any criminal street gang activity, including on any social media platform. You are not to utilize any hand signs, terminology, or language that promotes any criminal street gang. You are not to participate in any criminal street gang activity. You are not to knowingly engage in any contact with any of the victims that are listed in this indictment or with any of their family members. And you may not have in your possession or with arm's reach any kind of a firearm because you're going to be a convicted felon. And that is, except I know that you have security and you need security. You can be within arm's reach of a firearm that is in the possession of either licensed law enforcement or licensed security personnel that are in your security detail or anybody that you're performing with. You are to submit to random drug screens and not use any drugs unless they are prescribed for you by a licensed physician. You are to execute a Fourth Amendment waiver that will permit the search of your person, residence, vehicles, and electronics for any firearms, any criminal street gang paraphernalia, or any illicit drugs.
Yeah, that's standard.
And as I mentioned with regard to one of the first of your co-defendants from this trial, at least since I've been involved, to plead guilty, our Uniform Superior Court rules instruct and provide that it is absolutely proper for a judge to grant leniency in sentencing when, quote, the interests of the public and the effective administration of criminal justice are served, unquote. And I think that this plea is in the interest of the public and in the interest of effective administration of justice. Have been trying to ensure that, to the extent I can, this trial also abides by that. It's been challenging at certain times.
I wonder if he can smoke marijuana.
I find your plea to
It's
be
prescribed by a physician.
intelligently and voluntarily
They just said that.
with an
Yeah,
understanding of the
but if he moves to a state
and
where
I
it's
accept it
legalized, like
as
Colorado,
such. I also
California,
need to inform you
what does
that
that
your
mean?
attorneys were going
It's
to
not.
represent
It's
you
not
through either the
federal,
last day of this term
so
of court
it's
or
still
the
This is
not
state.
now,
This isn't
whichever is
federal.
later,
No,
and any of the
the
filings
drug.
that were mentioned
I see what you're
that need
saying.
to be filed within that
So
time,
it's still
they will
classified
file on
as
your behalf
illegal,
unless
so
they are
they
permitted
can,
to
if they
withdraw
want
from
to.
representing
But
you
if
before that
he
time.
has a
I am
prescription,
not
a
gonna
legal
impose
prescription,
the
he can.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
conditions suggested by your counsel about the benefit concerts and the donations to the sheriff's office, but I certainly strongly encourage you to do those things and to do and continue to do things that benefit your community and especially help young people to stay out of criminal trouble. And unless there is anything from counsel other than that,
I have one matter, Your Honor.
okay, and does the state as well?
Your Honor, with regards to Mr. Williams being permitted to come to the Metro Atlanta area
Yes,
or Cleveland Avenue area for funeral or the other items,
right.
can you also consider, God forbid, there's a serious medical condition of a person that
In
is,
his immediate family, certainly, we can add that. And I also meant to mention, because I know you do travel all over in order to pursue your career, that it's permissible for your probation to be transferred to out of state, and that has to be done through probation, but that is fine with the court. And you may also keep your, nobody's mentioned it, but keep your passport and travel out of state and internationally to the extent that you need to do that for business purposes as well.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Abadi.
Yes, just very briefly, thank you. The district attorney just wanted me to urge the court, due to the fact that the Thomases have been negatively affected.
Yeah, they
What has been discussed
I feel like
to make a brief statement.
if they were gonna get this, if they were gonna pull off this win, they were gonna quickly appeal it, and it was gonna go into a mistrial because they had, Brian Steele, Young Thug's attorney, has been campaigning for mistrial basically from the beginning. There's been a lot of shady stuff
Thank
going
you,
on.
and
on
I
prosecution
appreciate,
side.
well, I cannot
As
even
hard as they
begin
came for
to
him, as hard as they came for
understand
him,
what they must,
I would love it
anything
if they
must be
came for
going through
pedophiles that
when they
hard.
lose
Yeah.
a
I would
family
love
member
it. Like
to
they don't. These
violence,
people are out
criminal
here
violence.
living their lives, and
Mr.
kids are in
Williams himself
danger,
has
and they don't
expressed
go as
his
hard.
own
And I don't
sorrow
understand.
to
Like
the
some of
family.
these people have murdered
Again, I'm
children.
gonna stand
You know what I
by
mean?
what
And
I
they
believe
still get
that
like
the
2 to 3
appropriate
years. Like, how is
time
that even a
to
thing?
hear a
So as
victim
hard as they
statement
came
from
for
them
this
is
guy,
at
over some fuck. I don't really know what the case is about. The RICO case, you said, something about the record company being gang related, but I don't know if they committed any like murders,
Yeah, they did.
attempted murder.
Alleged.
I'm just saying, like, attempted murders, whatever, assaults, robberies. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a defenseless child. Like, why doesn't the law come after them harder nationally? And it just makes me believe that the people running that shit is the reason why the law doesn't go after pedophiles as hard as they came after this man for these alleged crimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really speak on that, but as far as Young Thug here with this situation, if you didn't know, he got basically 15 years of probation. He has been kicked
That's
out.
a long time.
He's been basically kicked out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
He can only return for special situations, including he has to come back every quarter, it sounded like, to basically give a free concert, because I don't think he's going to speak to kids or speak to schools.
You never know. You never know. Some people turn it around.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Snoop. They tried to get him with that murder ages ago, and he turned his life around completely, which I don't understand. Like the whole, I get that you make your money and you feed your people with that thug life mentality and that, the show of what you were or what you weren't once were, whatever, but keep continuing to live that lifestyle after you've made all this money. Why? Like, I don't understand, like, why you want to be all up in the shit. I wouldn't want to be up in the shit, like, yeah. I grew up one day and I moved away, and that was the end of it, and like, why do you want to be, especially when you make millions, like you're a rapper, you're an actor, you're a this and you're a that, like you got money and you have all these open doors, and you choose to go down to the fucking basement and in the darkness and wonder, like, what's down here? And that's what that fucking is. Like, instead of being in the light, you're in the darkness. Why? You got money, you got opportunities. Like, your career could be headed into this great place, being known and all of that, because I assume that's what you wanted to do from the beginning. That's why you're in this career, because I don't, it could be any career.
Yeah.
But like, I don't understand why people decide, hey, let me keep up with the neighborhood and let me keep up with, all my homeboys from the hood, and, oh, so and this and that. Oh, I can make some money here and there. Like that should be chump change to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Over here trying to be a kingpin. Let some other motherfucker do that. You go make your music, go be an actor, go be a model, go be whatever the fuck it is that you're trying to do. Why are you trying to live this thug life? Like, I don't understand that. Like, I never understood that.
Yeah. Well, once you get into the entertainment business and you make it big, you can't live 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You have to let, you're going to have to let the streets go, or the streets are going to take you under. And what I mean by take you under, they're going to take your career from you, because you're going to get caught up into something that you really didn't
people
want to be a part of.
It's crazy. Like the whole Diddy built an empire, and to get caught on camera. And I'm not saying what he did to this woman was okay, but he got caught on camera beating the fucking brakes off of Cassie, and he deserves whatever he's got coming, just for the beating, just for what I got to see. I mean, imagine all the stuff we didn't get to see. But I don't understand why you would do that at the level that you're at. You're at a certain level. Like, stay there and be a decent human being, instead of thinking you're some kind of god, because you're not, and now you're in jail, and now all these people are coming. talking about that you raped them, that you did this, that you built a fucking empire.
Yeah.
So I don't understand like how, people like this guy are in jail.
Yeah. Well, Diddy's not being charged for the Cassie situation.
No, it's
Diddy,
the trafficking, racketeering, blah blah blah.
yeah, he's not being charged for the Cassie thing, and Cassie, um, unfortunately, is going to sound bad, but it's going to be as real as it can be. Cassie got paid for that beating. She got paid for that beating. She got paid for everything that Puffy did by paying her that money. Is it enough? Is it, is it worth, was the juice worth the squeeze? That's only up to Cassie to decide. And as far as everything else with Diddy that he's being charged with, so far it's just trafficking. What trafficking means at this day and age is different from the 90s what trafficking was. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
we'll see how Diddy's situation plays out and what the actual charges are.
No, I know. We're not talking about him. We're talking about Young Thug.
Yeah.
I'm just making a point here.
No, I get it.
Like you're famous as fuck and this is the type of shit that you do. For what though? Why? Why would you want to like do that to yourself? And then now you done thrown your money away to be in fucking court, trying to save yourself from being in jail. Like, was it really worth all of that? And what about your family? What about your loved ones that are over here cheerleading for you and loving you? Like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. But you don't think about that because you don't think you're going to get caught. Why? Because you think you're above it.
I think what ends up happening is with a lot of these people, once they get to a certain celebrity status, I feel like they forget what it really means to be, I guess, in society. And
That's how I felt about when Kanye tried to run for president.
and I think that because of that, they have too many yes men around them and not somebody saying like, hey, you need to not do that, you need to do this, or you need to stay away from that. But the yes men aren't there to say that. They're there to usher in the fuckery.
No, I get that.
And things lead up to the way they are. I think if Young Thug would have had somebody in his ear keeping him on the straight and narrow, like, hey man, y'all, you need to, disassociate these people from here, from YSL, the record label, because it's starting to look like a gang, and you don't want that kind
Yeah,
of
but
heat on.
you think you're your own man, you're your own person. You don't want people telling you what to do. It's like, and who was it? Who was it that said that? Like, I don't remember who it was, but basically, you shouldn't take advice from people that you're paying, or your mentor shouldn't be someone on your payroll, something like that.
Yeah, I remember I heard that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's true. Like, if you're gonna listen to somebody, you shouldn't be paying them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not. I don't know. I don't know because I'm not in the entertainment business. I'm just schmo from the streets. Doing a podcast with my husband. But still, like, I just don't understand how you get sucked in so bad to where this is where you land.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that. Regardless of who is telling you what, if you want to be a self-proclaimed king, all kings have counsel, and you got to have somebody, even if they're on your payroll, to
No, I
be the
get that.
voice of reason. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it's up to you, the king, to listen.
That is true. That is very true.
And
But
sometimes you got arrogant people who won't listen to anybody because, again, they think they're above it.
that is true. But in most of these cases with these celebrities, they don't have that. They have someone that is just, you know, keeping up with the program because I'm getting my pockets layered with money because he like when I tell him yes, or she likes when I tell him yes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't tell him anything. And like with Diddy, he had that same situation. And what I've been hearing is he did have people that would um, like tell him this isn't right, this isn't right, you should do the, even if you don't do this, you need to separate from this. And what he ended up doing was letting those people go.
Of course.
because they weren't
Absolutely.
they weren't going along with his
Because
ideology.
they are not the voice of reason. It's these other motherfuckers that got him in his shit that are the voice of reason, because they're aligned with what he's thinking and what he
Correct.
wants to do, and which is criminal bullshit and fucking abuse and just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Shittery, you know?
And you know, then you got to also factor in drugs and alcohol, you know, mainly drugs, with these people. So
Yeah, it's too bad. So let's move on
so yeah, let's
to
move
another
on.
person that's in jail.
Let's move on to the next topic that's come out this past week or week and a half, has been Lil Durk's gotten arrested.
Yeah, I've heard of him, don't know his music.
So quick recap so you can get caught up on Lil Durk. Lil Durk is rapper out of Chicago, drill rapper, gang. What is it? Gangster rapper. That's what drill rap came from. You know what I mean? Came out of that branch of hip hop. Um, he was good friends with King Von. He was bringing King Von up. King Von got killed back in, I believe, 2020. They had a situation with Quando Rondo, and he ended up getting murdered in Atlanta by one of Quando's peoples.
Wait, who got murdered?
Vaughn, King Vaughn.
Oh, you weren't specific on that. You just said him, he,
King Von.
and you need to say names.
King Vaughn got murdered. The guy who killed him was basically freed because they deemed it was stand your ground, because Vaughn is the one that was the attacker in that whole situation, him and his peoples that was with him. So it was King Vaughn and I think two other people that got killed on Vaughn's
Over
side.
what?
Fucking street beef, rap beef, bullshit. Nothing.
Bullshit beef.
Yeah, nothing that I saw that was real significant to be like, I gotta go murder this nigga because you know he done raped my woman or raped my kid or some way out shit. No, it was street beef, like some hip hop street beef too at that. So Quando Rondo, regardless of what the beef was based off of, so Quando Rondo, people killed him. The dude,
People killed who?
Quando Rondo's people killed King Vaughn. King Vaughn is the only one that's died here at this point.
Thank you.
And then so everybody back in Chicago is basically, and around the world who was keeping up with the story was basically telling, you know, like Vaughn to slide. Vaughn got a slide. Vaughn got a slide for King Vaughn. I'm not Vaughn. Durk. I'm sorry. Durk's got a slide for Vaughn because he got
So
killed.
fucking lost already.
You know, they got to get some retaliation and get back on Quando because they killed their mans, you know.
And Quando is a part of Little Durk's.
No.
So I'm confused now.
Quando and Durk, two separate people, two separate entities. They're not together. They're not friends. Put it like that.
Okay.
Vaughn gets killed by Vaughn. Vaughn gets killed by Quando's folks.
Oh my God.
By it's a mess. Vaughn gets killed by Quando's folks. Quando's folks get off on the murder because of stand your ground.
Yeah.
People come back at Durk saying you got to slide for Vaughn because Vaughn got killed. You fast forward, I think 1-2 years, whatever. Remember when that shooting occurred in at the Beverly Center, where the dudes got killed? One dude got killed in the SUV.
No.
Well, that was apparently that was a setup where Quando Rondo and his people, one of them got killed by Little Durk's alleged people.
Okay.
So of course the FBI and the U.S. state attorneys, you know, they start doing their investigation and they start investigating. So then we get to the point where the people that killed, I think his name is Lil Pub or Lil Pab, with was Quando Rondo's cousin who got killed at the Beverly Center in this shootout,
Okay.
or shooting, because I don't think they shot back. They started investigating because it happened out here. You know, LA don't play that shit. They're gonna try to investigate as hard as they can. They ended up getting the guys, and apparently they're starting to snitch. They're like always.
What?
That is the alleged word on the street. They're starting to break down and start snitching.
All right.
And you know, Dirk tries to figure it out. I guess he books 3 international flights, thinking that he can get away. No, you can't get away that easily. And he booked 3 international flights, 2 on commercial airlines, 1 on a private jet. And he was in Florida, and they picked his ass right up in Florida, not too far from, I guess, the airport where he was going to go to the private jet that was headed to Italy.
So he took it upon himself, allegedly, to retaliate for the death of King Von, is what you're telling me.
Correct.
All that just to say that.
Yeah.
Man.
Got to break it all down.
No, you really didn't. And the way you broke it down was just fucked.
It's because it's all fucked. And then, okay, so now he's in jail. He's going to be, I think he's cooked. I don't even think he's cooked. I think he's fried. I think he's barbecued.
Why?
Because they're giving him
So-
the charge of he's going to be considered the head person in this whole situation.
All right. So let me just throw this little piece out. I read a little bit of it. I kind of scanned through the article really quick.
Mhm.
And the one thing I noticed was that they tapped his phones and they heard every conversation he was having. That's all I really know. Oh, and that he booked the 3 flights. That's all I know. I don't know for what. I don't know what he did.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened. Like, I don't really know this person. I don't know his music. If I've heard it, I don't know it's him, you know, so I really don't know. And I wasn't too invested in the story, but they did tap his phones. They
Yeah.
heard the conversations he was having, and that's all I know.
So apparently there may have been an informant on his camp for about, that was being an informant for about a year
Wow.
or longer.
Man or woman.
Man. So basically, in all, Dirk gets arrested and is based off a retaliatory killing for young King Von on Quando Rondo.
And he took it upon himself to do this. Like, he didn't even, did he know King Von?
Who?
Lil Durk.
Yeah, that was his boy.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was his
That's
man.
why I'm asking the question.
That was his mans and them. They came out the same area, out of Chicago, Old Block, and whatever other places that they're associated with in Chicago. Gang shit. I mean, they
How sad.
consider King Von to be the first real hip hop serial killer.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that he would rap about things that he did, that he actually did.
Mm-hmm. That's what drill rap is really all about. It's about talking about real shit that they've actually, it's to me, it's snitch rap. 'Cause-
Wasn't there, was this him that there was a rapper that he even went to, like, the place where he killed somebody, and he did like his video was that, like, in the place, and you could see the blood and all this stuff. Like, there was some rapper like that. I saw something about that, and I think they ended up killing him. I'm not sure if that's him.
No, I don't know about that, but he could have very well have done. I don't
That's
know.
crazy.
I don't know if he did a video, but he may have done like an IG live post or IG reel post, whatever, a social post about a place where someone got killed. And
No, but he was like, the song was about him doing it, and
I'm not too familiar with
I don't
that.
know. I read it, and it was a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that part.
All right, so Lil Durk is in jail now.
Yeah, so he's in custody. He's going to be in custody for a while. He is facing what I consider he's going to be, which we don't know what the full charges is going to be, but based on what the indictment is, There's nobody higher than him. So even if he wanted to talk to try to lesser his time, he's cooked. He's fucking barbecued. Um,
Wow.
it's the people below him have a better chance at seeing themselves get out of jail versus Dirk at this point, because Dirk has just sent up the river the way they got him with all the electronic data and everything. He's gonna be. I mean, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
If he gets out, or gets less time, I feel that he's gonna have to do something to really entice the feds with, and that's if the whatever he has
I mean,
is enticing to the feds to want to go after. Because
he'd have to snitch on somebody, someone else that's famous, you know.
but that's only if the feds want him.
But that's what I'm saying. What if he has, they all have information. I mean, look at what's happening to what's his face, the diddler, So you think people aren't giving up the juice?
Yeah.
It
Well,
happens.
well, for Puffy, he's got to give information about somebody that's above him.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about people giving him up.
Yeah, I'm not really following you on
All
that.
right. Let's just move on.
On what you're saying.
So I wanted to.
So
Okay.
I got a video. Let's go ahead and play this video.
Rap artist Lil Durk allegedly targeted a rival rapper in a murder for hire scheme in Los Angeles. He has been arrested.
As Eyewitness News reporter Annabelle Munoz found out, federal officials say it was a family member of the intended target who ended up being killed by hitmen.
Yeah. So this is the Beverly Center shooting.
He's 32, a successful rapper, and a Grammy Award winner. Federal authorities say Lil Durk is also behind an alleged murder for hire plot.
It is a very violent crime. You're talking about someone losing their life, and perhaps another individual was the target.
Chicago rapper Dirk Banks was arrested near Miami International Airport Thursday night.
Anything you want to say about your son?
His family seen leaving his first court appearance today. A federal complaint says Banks put a bounty on a rival rapper in response to the killing of a close friend in 2020.
That was Bond.
Roughly 2 years later, this deadly shooting unfolded at a gas station near the Beverly Center in August of 2022.
This is Quando's situation.
Investigators named several defendants and alleged co-conspirators they say stalked and attempted to murder the rival rapper, and instead ended up killing a relative who was with the target at the time. The indictment says this is a photo of the 3 individuals who fired gunshots at the busy intersection.
What they have shared so far is a tremendous amount of information, especially as it comes to the planning involved in this alleged hit for hire. Weapons were supplied, ski masks were supplied. Those weapons were modified to make at least one of them an automatic weapon.
Authorities say Banks flew into Los Angeles the day before the killing by private plane. They also allege the purchase of flights from Chicago to SoCal and a hotel reservation for the alleged co-conspirators was from accounts linked to Banks and his music collective OTF, adding that around that time, iCloud records showed
dumb
the
can
phone
you
number
be?
associated with Banks texted an alleged co-conspirator.
This is why you should not try to be a fucking criminal.
According to the indictment, Banks had made clear in, quote, coded language that he'd pay a bounty for the murder. Authorities arrested 5 defendants in Chicago Thursday morning and say the FBI learned Banks was booked on 3 international flights before his arrest. If convicted, Banks and the other defendants face a maximum sentence of life in federal prison.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great
ABC7
content.
Que pendejo. Why would you do that? Yeah. Like, you got all this money and then you book shit in your own fucking name. And I'm not trying to say this is what you should do. Here's the playbook. But if you're going to want to be a criminal, make better moves. Like, oh my God. Wow.
And you thought they weren't going to get caught? Like, I mean, come on. LA and New York are one of LA and New York are very, very vicious when it comes to investigating. You know what I mean? They put it down. I mean, where gang comes from, the Bloods and the Crips, you know what I mean, in LA. So
Yeah.
investigation is a mainstay. And then same with New York. You know, New York's another city where investigations are done very thorough. You know,
Yeah.
sure, you got crooked cops everywhere. You know that'll bump up and trump up things, so, and it's not what it is.
I just think just don't.
He's barbecued. He's barbecued.
Yeah.
He's on the spit getting rotated. It's over. It's over for Durk. What only thing Durk can do at this point in time, like I said, is try to solve some things that they may want to solve. That they may want to solve. And I'm talking about murders in Chicago because that's where he's out of.
I just, for me, it's just like you just wasted your life. You just threw your life away to do something that you shouldn't even be doing. You're not a fucking criminal. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, because you got caught. Like, you got caught. Not saying that criminals can't get caught, but you're not smart. You know, you didn't make the right moves. And if it was you, like, I feel like it was him because they got him on the phone and he booked flights and he used his name. And, you know, you don't do that.
Well,
you don't do that.
Allegedly, it was like, I think one of his assistants or whatever that helped orchestrate all this, but the orders came down from him. And as you see,
Pero there you go. Like, you use cash for everything. That you can't trace that. That's why they're trying so hard to eliminate money so they can trace everything. You know what I mean? And all that, like, we're going to turn cash into crypto and, you know, whatever. Like, that's
Even
why
more
they want to
traceable.
track everything, you know, but cash is still king, you know, no matter what.
I mean, they already track. I mean, let's keep it real. They already are tracking everybody in the world, especially in the United States. Let's just start there. In the United States, they're tracking you. Why? Because you have a cell phone, and no one goes anywhere without their cell
is
phone.
true.
And your cell phone is pinging every tower that it comes across, and they can use that data to triangulate. They don't really need much of anything else as long as they can pin you close to the in proximity and have a witness to say you were the one at the scene of the crime, and they can ping your cell phone and you're there.
Well,
You cannot do crimes. I'm not here to teach you how to do crimes again, but I just want to say this: you cannot do crimes and carry your cell phone around. This is how they caught Julio, his killers, because of cell phones. You guys are quick with these cell phones and quick to put your
no, but
information
you know what?
up,
There's some
and
real,
it's so
there's
stupid.
there's real killers, there's real gangsters out there, and they are not them.
No,
Period.
they playing
So
gangster.
let's just move on.
They playing gangster with getting caught because of cell phone traffic and data.
Yeah,
Playing
unfortunately.
gangster.
It's very
that's what
sad.
it
It's
is.
very sad for the people that lost their lives and all over probably nothing.
Yeah.
All right,
Over your homeboy getting killed because your homeboy
over nothing.
assaulted somebody and his peoples shot and killed him. Yeah, it is what it is. It's the old story in everyone's hood across the world. Someone gets killed because they thought that they were more gangster than somebody else and got killed. And now the other person on the other side is trying to retaliate because you killed my homeboy. Every gang has
Yeah,
that
but
same
what if
story.
it wasn't even that? What if it was just over beef? And it's
It
like,
really
for
wasn't
me,
beef.
it's like,
It really
you know,
wasn't
you're
beef.
gonna lose your life over beef. Like, who cares? You guys need to worry about other shit instead of beef. Like, you're creating this beef in your head. I ain't got beef with nobody. You know, if you got beef with me, that's your problem, not mine. You know, I don't give a fuck. You know, now if you allegedly or not allegedly, if you try to pursue the beef and turn it into something else, back to you. That's still on you. I did nothing. I did nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm living my life and you're over here fucking with me. Like, why do you care so much? Why are you so pressed about me?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I don't understand about ego and pride with men. You know, because, yeah, women, we are prideful. We have ego. But men, they go out and shoot other motherfuckers for nothing. For nothing. I don't get it. But we should move on.
Yeah, we're going to move on, but I do want to say this one last thing about both of these situations that we watched so far. What is missing from hip hop is an anthem like we had back in the late 80s, early 90s. We need this in hip hop immediately. We need a Stop the Violence. We need a Same Gang. We need those songs to remind everyone and the youth.
You're so cute.
That
don't stop shit.
No.
It does nothing. It didn't do nothing back then. It ain't going to do shit now. Let's just be honest, Dave.
I know that. That's not even the point that I'm trying to make. The point that I was trying to make is we need to have these in the Same Gang, the self-destruction records. We need to have those in hip hop as a balance, and we need to have those records to show kids that these certain individuals who have these beefs can actually squash them and it not lead to violence. Because all they're showing kids in hip hop is violence. And kids can't discern what is real and what is not. And this is why you have everybody, this is why we have street shit to be the big hot cool thing instead of making smart cool.
I hear
We're
you.
making idiocracy.
I hear you, but that's not their responsibility. The responsibility falls on the parent. The parent is responsible for what the child is watching and how the child is influenced. These artists are out to make money, not to influence anybody. That is not their responsibility. They didn't have these kids to do that. I get what you're saying, but no, that's not their responsibility. That is on the parent. And these parents are failing these kids. Let's just be honest.
Sure. The parents need to do their part as well, but these artists are influencing children. These artists are influencing children. And we had this in the 90s. I mean, you had Tupac who would say, fuck this, but then you would have Tupac with another song, Brenda's Got a Baby. You know what I mean? You had the balance. There's no balance in hip hop. And everything that hip hop is a driving force in the youth, and there's nothing that is being promoted or pushed, let's say, not so much from, being made, because there are positive rap music, but there is no more positive rap music. Most of the positive rap music is null and void, and it's not being pushed.
I posted a meme the other day. Sorry.
We had gangster rap and we had Kid and Play. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
That's what I'm saying. Where's the balance? There's no balance.
I posted something the other day that said, we listen to drug dealers and y'all listen to drug users. We are different.
Correct.
We are different. And these drug user rappers, they don't give a fuck.
No.
They don't give a fuck. So that's why I feel like, we're putting responsibility on people who can't be even responsible for themselves. Like, but whatever.
I get it. But that's what I'm saying. At this point in time in hip hop, we need to bring it back to have some balance. I'm not saying not make the street music, because I love street music. I love to hear the bullshit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I did like the positive music. I like the X-Clans. I like the Paris. I like
and I'm not saying
I like
that, but
music too. It all had a place. The De La Soul.
Well, we don't have those kind of people anymore.
Correct. And that's the problem.
And then the ones that it's just, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I was just thinking about it the other day. The music industry is saturated with too much music. There's too much music out there, and only certain people are making it. There's only certain people. There's so much music out there now. Just like there's so many series, Netflix, Hulu, like everybody's got fucking shows. I don't have time for every motherfucking show. You know what I mean? It ain't like back in the day when we were growing up. It's like if you caught that motherfucker, you were lucky. If you knew the day it was on, you were lucky, and you better hurry back from the bathroom because there was no pause for a commercial.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just where it's so saturated, and at this point, like, I don't know. What if they are making that music and we're just not hearing it because we got people like this music industry pushing out, the Drakes of the world or whatever, you know what I mean? Not trying to shit on him or anything, but
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but that's what I'm saying. I know it's being made, but it's not being pushed to the forefront. Like
no, because nobody wants to fucking hear that.
Lecrae is a dope rapper and he's positive, you know what I mean? But you wouldn't know about it.
I don't even fucking know.
You wouldn't hear his music that prominent because it's not getting pushed. And that's the problem. That's why I said we need to have that cohesive part where we get a same gang, we get
no, I get what you're saying,
because then though we can put those artists together with other artists, with the street artists, and
so it was We Are the World. Now it's and then in our time, and then in our time is in the same gang, and now it's nothing.
Correct.
Yeah. I feel you.
And we're missing.
I just feel like it's not their responsibility. That's where I stand on that.
We even had with Hip Hop Hooray. And it wasn't so much about other artists on it, but you saw the video and the visuals let you know it was cool. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. So moving right along, this is a depressing topic for me because I live in Los Angeles and I'm a Yankees fan, and the Yankees lost to the Dodgers. And I just want to give the Dodgers their hey, salute to the Dodgers. They took the World Series.
I don't watch baseball, so I don't really care. I'm happy for my city. I'm not happy that my fellow city people decided to destroy our city in celebration. Go destroy your own fucking home. Stop destroying taxpayer bullshit. Like, come on. So get it together.
So I'm not a Dodger hater. I do support the Dodgers when the Yankees aren't in the running, but this time the Yankees it was the Yankees and the Dodgers, and I got to represent the team that I like, and my team is the Yankees. It has nothing to do with Los Angeles.
I'm shocked you're not wearing the Yankees hat now.
I can't wear that today. I can't wear that. The flag is at half staff for me right now. I'm celebrating the loss. So I just want to say salute to all the Dodgers fans and salute to the Dodgers. Let's get a quick little sidebar here.
In your face? No, I'm just kidding.
It is.
Check this out over here. People are literally climbing the traffic signals here. This is an unbelievable crowd.
Downtown.
Dad, how does it
feel
when your son's here?
It's great. It's my first time. It's their first time. So we're going to experience it together.
I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him.
For the celebration. Amazing celebration. Dodgers World Series champions. 2024.
LA knows how to party. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 4. I'm Samantha.
I'm not playing all of
Rick
this.
Chambers in today for John Finello.
Fuck that. I don't like nobody playing on my phone.
Whatever. Congratulations to the Dodgers. That's great.
Congratulations.
That's what,
to
the
Dodgers.
8th?
Yeah, congratulations to the Dodgers. The better team won. Salute again. Hats off, literally. No hard feelings, I'm a LA boy, born and raised. So I ain't mad at them.
All right. That's awesome. Good for them.
Good for them. Good for them.
Nice try, Yankees.
You know what? Living with the devil. Living with the devil. Living with the devil. All right. So on that one, you got any final words?
I actually have two topics I want to talk about real quick. I mentioned Kanye West running for president prior to all of these conversations. I want to say that we should stop voting for Gucci and Prada, because there are other candidates that are running for president, and for some reason we are all focused on those that they don't care about our country. Yeah. Let's just be honest. I don't know. I don't really give a fuck, but I kind of give a fuck. I feel like people that have money, that are wealthy, should not be running for president because they don't know what the fucking people want. They don't.
Okay.
It should be a regular person that should be running for president or for any type of Congress, whatever. I feel like it should just be a regular person that understands the struggles of the average person. You know, everything is so high right now, gas, food, you know, taxes, like we're all paying so much in taxes. It's ridiculous. And our money's being sent overseas or it's being used for stupid shit. And a regular person would understand where we are coming from. And these rich ass people, they have no idea. They have no clue what we need. I don't understand how these fucking people can sit there and run for president when they haven't. Trump has never been poor.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know about Kamala if she's ever been poor, but I'm pretty sure it's been a long time since that. You know, like we need regular people running for president, not fucking millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires. Like, get some regular folk in there. What the fuck are you guys over here voting for, you know, BMW and Mercedes when there's Toyota and Nissan and you know what I'm saying? And they're just as good. Like, just that's my take on that. Like when Kanye ran for president, I couldn't understand how he could run for president when he has not been poor in God knows how long. This man is rich. He don't know what the people want.
Yeah.
He does not, and neither does Trump, and I feel that Kamala doesn't either. But there's got to be a regular person out there that wants to be the president of the United States and actually care about the people. But, you know, that's just my take. So my second topic is Dave and I watched a TV show.
Okay.
And I want to say it correctly. Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist. It's on Peacock. It was with so many like wonderful actors that we love. Samuel L. Jackson, Terrence Howard, Taraji P. Henson. What's his name? Kevin Hart. It was just so many. Clifton Powell. Clifton Powell's role was great. He had to put subtitles for when he spoke. It was awesome, and I love him. He's so great. But watch it. It's so good.
Yeah,
I was
very good.
Stunned so many times. It blew my mind. The story was great. It was so it was great. Don Cheadle is in it.
Yeah.
Like it was so many heavy hitters. And I thought the story was absolutely wonderful. Everybody did their part and I was hooked, and it's got 8 episodes.
Yeah, I think you have to get through the first episode. Get through the first episode, and once you get through that first episode, the story really opens up. But the first episode kind of builds that whole world out, and once it does, it just you're captivated the whole time. It is binge worthy. Highly recommended. Go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's totally worth the watch. I feel like it is. I
think it was, for me, it was the best thing I've seen of Kevin Hart, acting wise. For me, a lot of the times with Kevin Hart, he's a little too much Kevin Hart, and I don't get to see the character that he's trying to play. This go around, I saw the character that he was playing. I wasn't so much seeing Kevin Hart anymore.
Yeah. It was great. I highly recommend watching it.
Yeah.
It's super, super great. I loved it. It was wonderful. The story was great. The acting was great. It takes place in the 70s or 60s, late 60s, maybe early 70s, something like that. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
So watch it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The only thing I did not like, not because of anything, I didn't like the actor. This is a little spoiler. I myself did not like the actor who played Muhammad Ali. Not that he was a bad actor, he just, to me, wasn't the right actor to play him. But I still enjoyed it. You know, I still
I mean,
enjoy
he
it.
only has a certain amount of role in it.
Correct.
You know, like he only has a few episodes that he's in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wasn't my favorite. But you know, regardless of that, it was great.
Yeah,
It was
that's
great. And
my
the
only.
ending it was amazing.
That's the only like knock I can give on the whole series is that the only bad part for me was the Muhammad Ali character, the actor who played it. He's not a bad actor. He just, for me, I didn't see Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
But that was it. Other than that, it was great. And you can overlook that part because the whole series is fucking excellent. And I'm surprised that Peacock did it, or it was on Peacock versus like these other bigger networks, because Peacock just showed they ass with this one.
Yeah, it was
and
totally
shit
worth.
it on
Yeah.
a lot of these streaming platforms who are trying to like they
I mean,
shitted
it's
on
NBC.
Disney. They
you know?
shitted on Disney. Like Disney been trying to capture that lightning in the bottle with their shows, and they ain't got nothing on this Peacock show.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, this was a great show.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Watch it. It's worth it.
Yeah. Very good show. Very good show. Anything else?
Peace.
Peace.